Good luck. But mate, let's get into it, eh?
Mate, are we here? Are we ready for the runner by runner?
I don't know if everyone's ready for this. Get to your screens now. Let's have a look at this Everest.
Are we going for the Everest first?
Do you want to go through the Everest first?
It's up to you. Everest or Caulfield Cup first?
I think we just go through.
All right, they've been waiting for the Everest. Let's give it to them, okay? So the Everest, runner by runner, contenders from pretenders. We're going to tell you exactly who can win and why, who can't win and why. Nicholas Highland, take us through the field.
All right, here we go, guys. Looking amazing. We got Ka Ying Rising. You've got Briasa. You've got Overpass, Jimmysstar, War Machine, Mazu, Jedibeel, Angel Capital, Joliestar, Lady Shenandoah, Magic Time, and Tempted.
Unreal, mate. Unreal.
So yeah,
it's
just
a
a little graphic thing. I hope you guys liking that.
Producer Nick's been hard at work here. If you're watching on the YouTube, you know what we're talking about. If you're listening, you're probably thinking, what the heck? Go to the YouTube. You'll find out.
Yeah. So straight away, let's get into our first runner, mate.
Oh, well, let's just quickly go through the speed map.
Yeah, true.
Just
Sorry,
so
speed
people
maps.
know
I'm getting too excited.
what's looking like the speed map. You are getting excited. We are going to get some speed map graphics as well to add to producer Nick's talents here.
Yeah.
That'll be coming in the next couple of weeks as well. The speed map, obviously with the draws, you've got Tempted in there in the inside. Will probably get shuffled a little ways back, as will Angel Capital and Jimmysstar. But they're also probably not going to aim to get too far back because they know if they get too far back, these leaders are going to skip away. The leaders are going to be Overpass, Ka Ying Rising, and Mazu. You'd think that Mazu grabs the front lead if Ka Ying Rising doesn't opt to grab the front lead. Since Overpass is drawn outside of him, you'd think he'd have the ability to go all the way and grab that front spot. Or if Purton wants to just sit back from that 7th barrier and sit one pair back, he's able to do so. Then the rest of them, you know, your Jedibeels, Briasas, Lady Shens, Magic Time, Joliestar, War Machine, they'll all sit somewhere in the midfield and they'll start to create their pairs before they go around that turn and they all start to break up and go through the line. If you want to just get back up on the screen, mate, I'll go through some stats and facts as well, just if you are into that sort of thing. The favourite has won this race 3 out of 8 times in history. 7 out of 8 winners have started single figures in betting. Not many roughies going around apart from Giga Kick that one year. 7 of the 8 winners have also been male horses, Bella Nipotina being the first female last year. 3-year-olds have won the race twice. 7 of the 8 winners, their final lead-up race, they didn't all win them, but 7 of the 8 last final lead-up races have been in Sydney. Melbourne form has not been the go, and I mean, we haven't had to deal with this before, but international form's the unknown. And then 6 out of 8 winners have won from a single-digit barrier. Very hard to win from out wide. So, mate, let's go runner by runner.
All right, number 1, we have Ka Ying Rising, mate. Straight away, pretender or contender?
I mean, look, contender. I'm not an idiot, okay? I know there's all these rumours around his fitness, but he is a contender, even if he is not fully fit, because his probably 90% is better than half of this field. So, yeah, him at 80% is probably better than at least half this field to be able to finish in the first half. I mean, Zach Purton's come out and said if the horse that rocked up on trial day rocks up, he's not winning. But if the horse that rocks up on gallop day rocks up, he is winning, and very well, because he was as fat as he's ever been. Apparently now he's as fit as he's ever been. I'm no trainer. I'm no horse biology expert. I don't know how that happens in 10 days, but apparently it has. So, I mean, before I go through all the other extra details, what do you just think of him? He's the $1.70 fave out of barrier 7. What are you thinking?
Contender. Let me just read out a couple of stats for everyone at home.
I love that.
I think everyone knows the Ka Ying Rising is a good horse and they've heard about it, but let me just tell you how good this horse is. This horse has had 32 career starts, 28 wins.
It's ridiculous.
And 4 second places. So it hasn't come outside of Quinella and has won 28 times.
It's outrageous.
Is an 8-time Group 1 winner, is a 6-time Group 2 winner, and a 4-time Group 3 winner. So
outrageous. Seriously.
Outrageous. Majority of his runs have been at the 1,200 metres, at the distance. Need I go further into this? That's all I have to say. They're not reporting much to anyone, to be honest, but genuine contender.
Look, I'll just a quick market update. $1.70 when we did our notes. He's now out to $1.85. Joliestar was at $7.50 in my notes. She's now into $6. So make of that what you will. But yeah, mate, look. His fitness rumours have been the talk of the town. Quite frankly, it gives me VSSC and a Cox Plate vibes. Is she running? Is she fit? Is he running? Is he fit? She came out and lapped them. I think this horse could do a very similar thing. I think he's absolutely going to smash it in. He'll come into $1.20 on the tote, as we discussed. The Hong Kong businessmen, they're going to be cheering, they're going to be loading. Seventh barrier is perfect for him to do whatever they want. He can push forward, grab that sole lead. He can sit outside Mazu if he wants. He can sit one pair back and then flex his muscles and go bang down the straight, which I think he's probably going to do. Is he beatable? Yes. Will he lose? I say no. Will I be playing other horses for a place and maybe pray they beat him for a bigger payout? Of course, because he is not an attackable price. Unless he gets over that $2, he is not an attackable price. But like I said, is he vulnerable? Potentially. Could he lose? Potentially. But does he lose? I don't think so, personally.
Fair enough.
All right, mate. Number 2.
Number 2, we have Briasa, mate.
Yes, Tyler Schiller rides for the Hawks team out of barrier 10. Currently $13 to win, $2.80 to place. Pretender or contender?
Contender for me. You go through first, mate.
Look, I've never really rated this horse. To be fair, he earned my respect last start in that fantastic run he put in the Premier, beating Jimmysstar. Jimmysstar did lunge at the line, but just got too far back. But this time around, draws barrier 10, which I think is going to spell danger for him. I think he ends up being too wide when trying to slot in and find a spot. Burns too much petrol early. For that reason, I can only see him placing, honestly, at $2.80. Not a bad play. Not the worst bet in the world. I just don't think he can win. And at that, Briasa's a pretender for mine.
Wow, okay. TJ Smith winner for this year and is absolutely flying. 8 wins from 12 career starts is insane, in my opinion. Won nicely in front of Jimmysstar and Private Harry last week in the Group 2 Premier Stakes. Seems to be a real dig deep horse, and it was always there at the end. Ran a nice second behind Joliestar as well. I just say do not leave him out of exotics.
That's what I mean. I think he'll potentially come home for exotics for a place, but I just can't see him win, which is the case for a lot of these horses.
Fair enough.
Number 3, mate, Overpass. Josh Parr rides for Bjorn Baker out of barrier 9. $51 to win, $8 to place. I mean, contender or pretender, mate?
Let me get it up here, mate. Overpass for me is obviously a pretender. I've written my notes down, but I wrote them in the wrong order before it came out. Pretender for me, you go first.
Yeah, pretender for me as well. He does his best work first up, to be fair. He'll be up on the pace. He'll be looking dangerous for quite a while. But I just can't see him being good enough or strong enough to hold pace with Ka Ying Rising. He might fall into the places or fade for a noble 5th. But I mean, we've seen what he can do all around the country. He's ran really well in Sydney, especially his Sydney Stakes last year. He's done really well over in Perth, but that's a different kettle of fish here. It's a lot bigger race. It's a lot more pressure. It's Ka Ying Rising. I just don't think he's going to be able to hold pace with him. If anything's going to beat Ka Ying Rising, it's someone coming from behind because they've gone too hard up front. He is not going to be able to match engines with him, and for that fact, he's a pretender.
Fair enough. 2-time winning Group 1 horse, has to go around at the Everest. Winner of the Winterbottom in 2024 and 2023. Is that a Group 1?
Yeah, no, it's Perth. Doesn't count.
Second in trial in front of Ka Ying Rising helps if you like the look of that. However, second in a TJ Smith behind Briasa also reads well, but I think the best this horse has already been seen. Likes the turf a little bit wet, so that little bit of sting the turf might get from that storm might help. But overall, I think there's just better horses in the race. Pretender for me.
Fair enough, mate. Number 4, Jimmysstar. Ethan Brown rides. Kieran Maher trains. Out of barrier 11. $12 to win, $2.70 to place. Pretender or contender?
Look, I have this Jimmysstar as a pretender. 2-time Group 1 winner of the all-age stakes from this year and the Oakley Plate winner as well. Ran home strong behind Briasa last week. Start before that looked pretty average, I must say. Big call on this one. I know a lot of people will probably question me about this. Honestly, love him as a horse, but as a process of elimination, I think he's one that I have to eliminate, and that barrier itself has just ruled him out for me. I had him as a borderline contender pretender going into it before barriers, but now I just think he's got to be a bit of a pretender getting that outside barrier.
1,000%. Bookies seem to have thought he was the best chance to beat Ka Ying Rising since he came into 350. I got some of the 9s that was on offer before that. So, I mean, if he wins, I won't be too mad. But I agree with you, mate. Despite being phenomenal last start when he got too far back, with this barrier, he's going to get too far back again, you'd have to think. I was all over him if he was going to be drawing closer to the inside so he could be closer to them. But now he's either going to have to be 3 wide the trip all the way around, or he's going to have to go all the way back to last. And can he make up a potential of 6, 8, 10 lengths? Who knows how far they'll stretch out on a Ka Ying Rising. Again, I'm going into this with the attitude that Ka Ying Rising is going to be at its best and that engine is firing 100%. I don't think at that someone that's on his tail could run him down, let alone that far back. So, I mean, he'll come home like a bullet. He'll relish the hot tempo they'll give him heading into the straight. I just don't think he'll have the time to run them all down. Meaning, again, he's a great place chance at that price. I just don't think he wins, so he's a pretender.
Fair enough, mate.
Number 5, War Machine. Timmy Clark rides for the Hayes boys. So David Hayes trains Ka Ying Rising. His sons all train War Machine out of barrier 4, $13 to win, $2.80 to place.
Got him down as a pretender here. Horse has been solid to finish this prep in winter. Sorry, has been solid to finish his prep from winter. Winning the Stradbroke Group 1 and starting off with a nice Group 2 in Flemington 2 weeks back. But another one, for me, just out of his depth against this crowd. Solid Group 2 horse. Think can sneak its way through, get another Group 1. But just not this one, in my opinion.
I think he's the forgotten horse in the field. Queensland Winter into Everest setup has worked time and time again. Think About It and Bell and Nipotina both seeing huge wins off a Queensland Carnival in the last couple of years. Phenomenal first up. Immediately got put into the Everest off the back of it for a good reason. It was carrying a ton of weight and just made them all look second rate. To be fair, they are second rate. This is a different kettle of fish. But, I mean, he draws to do no work. Sit a couple pairs back, ride the pace, and, just be super. Late over the top of them. The Hayes sons know exactly how to train big winners. They might be the best chance to knock off their dad, honestly. Just doesn't want it too wet. The drier, the better for this horse. Can get it done in the wet, but prefers a dry deck. And David did come out and say, I don't know if he was just saying it because he's their sons, but he did come out and say that he very highly respects that horse, and he's one of the few horses he's a bit scared of. So I think War Machine is 100% a contender.
Awesome. We
go to number 6, Mazu, with Collet to ride for the Joe Pride stable, out of barrier 2 at $100 to 1, $15 to place.
Didn't write much form on this, to be honest, because...
So he's at 126 to 1.
Yeah, originally wasn't in the field. Was the last one to get brought in for good reason as well. Running for prize money, not for me. That's all I have to say.
I mean, needs the heavens to open up if he's going to be any chance in the finish. Up to 14 mils, probably needs 40 mils if he's going to be a chance. I think Yulong only picked him to be a pacemaker for the 2 horses they've already got in the field with Magic Time and Angel Capital. They need hot tempos to be strong late. He's going to make sure there is a hot tempo. He'll ping from the gates. He'll be up there early. Expect him to fade quickly when they get to the 200, though. As we move to number 7, Jedibeel. We all know the story with this horse. McAvoy rides for Brad Widdop out of barrier 8. $251 to 1, $41 a place. Shout out to you, Lockie, if you're listening. He joined us last week to tell us all about his chances, and he did say that they really need, the more inside the better, so he could get cuddled up and he could flash home late. Now he's probably going to struggle to find his spot, but we all know now if he does manage to beat 3 horses home, I'm going dressed as a mulberry jockey on Golden Eagle Day, and I really hope he does beat 3 horses home because that'll be a bit of fun. I'm keen to do that if, I'll eat my words. I'll happily eat my words, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be wearing a suit and tie. Pretender for me, mate. What are your thoughts?
Pretender won the Challenger Stakes early this year and in a Group 2. Has run in 3 Group 1s unplaced. Can somehow get some water into the track during the week. It'll probably improve a little bit, but running for prize money as well. Pretender for me.
Yes, well, I hope he finishes as high as possible, but will not be winning. As we move to number 8, the first of the Waller horses, mate. Angel Capital, Ben Mellum rides, Chris Waller out of barrier 3, if you want to get the graphic up. $17 to win, $3.40 to place. This has been the market mover. This was the horse that was 30s a couple of days ago, and even after the tumultuous market shifts, it came into 17s and it sat at 17s. It hasn't moved much, so people clearly think highly of this horse.
Yeah, contender for me, rising star in the ranks here. If I had to have $100 on a horse for every star, to be Angel Capital, who I said earlier. This stallion was given a butchered ride and should have won the Sir Rupert Clark pretty easily. Stakes early this spring, uncapped potential. If it runs well, could be a solid chance. One of the better looks for sure.
Contender for me, but he's the cutoff for me, contender-wise. He's my least confident contender, but I just can't rule out a possible win for him. He's just a big, strong colt that knows how to do so much well. Also knows how to do a lot of stuff wrong. But he's drawn potentially to get shuffled all the way back, like I mentioned earlier, but I expect Waller will be smarter than that and tell him to push up into that midfield, make sure that he gets the elbows out and doesn't get shuffled all the way back. He's certainly capable of. He can ride all the way from the back and he can ride from the midfield. He's one doing both. If he does so, he'll be in a great position to run over the top of them late. If he gets all the way back, I think race over. But if he is within touch of them going around that bend with his blistering closing speed, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if he wins here. So yeah, contender for me as we move to number 9. The second elect, like I said, only a matter of hours ago, she was $7.50. She is now into $6. McDonald rides, Waller trains, Joliestar out of barrier 5.
Yep, contender for me. 3-time Group 1 winner. Joliestar is the leading contender behind the obvious Ka Ying. Winner of the Kingsford Smith and Newmarket this year and 1,000 guineas in 2023. Back to her best after a first up win in the Group 2 shorts at Randwick a few weeks back. Going a step up nicely to the 1,200 and is definitely a contender. People forget she's already won 2 Group 1s this year and has also run a place in a Group 1 and Group 2 all since the start of the year. So has to be my top Aussie going in. So give it a chance.
Yeah, contender. Second elect in the market for a reason, and quite rightly so after that barrier draw. Gets the perfect draw to settle wherever McDonald wants her. Where I have to assume would only be 3-4 pairs back maximum. Waller came out and said that last year there was a bit more boom on her and she failed to impress. But he said she hasn't gotten bigger, she hasn't gotten stronger, she hasn't gotten faster, but she's gotten more mature. Her head is strapped on a bit more correctly. She's, more focused on the job. She knows how to do everything right at the right time now. So get to the racetrack on the weekend. If she's in touch with them on the bend, she is going to be super, super dangerous late, you have to think. Also has that Queensland fitness, because one of those Group 1s came up in Queensland. So if you like that history form line, back her in for as much as you got there. And I will say this race often suits 1,300 to 1,400 metre horses, which you could arguably say she is. And God, she sprints well fresh.
For sure.
And she is fresh here after a month off. So another horse that the drier the better for her. Can get it done in the wet, but the drier the better for her. She'll be looking very, very dangerous if Ka Ying Rising is off his game. That's for sure. As we move to number 10, the last of the Waller horses, Damien Lane will ride out of barrier 6, $14 to win, $2.80 to place. Lady Shenandoah.
Yeah, contender was my top seed going into the Spring Carnival. 3 Group 1s for her in the Flight Stakes, Surround and Coolmore Classic. Has had a disappointing start to her campaign this spring, but looking to bounce back pretty well. She ran second to Headwall in a Group 3 to start her prep, where she was just stuck in traffic and she was luckless. We'll give her a forgive for that run. Running 4th in the Manicato was pretty disappointing for sure. And I understand why people can't forgive that run. Me personally, I think she doesn't suit the run style for the Valley. Different ballpark running, opposite direction, short straight. There's just a lot of variables that she couldn't handle. I think she can bounce back really well, and all these 2 runs have done negatively is give her a high price tag. So I'll shop around with her for sure, and yeah, definitely a contender.
Contender for me, another one that is probably hoping the rain stays away. Ran poorly in Melbourne, but like you said, Moonee Valley, completely different setup. She's not a Valley horse, and hopefully she never goes there again. Gets back to a nice, big, wide open Randwick. Gets to really stretch her legs out here. Drawn well, should get the back of some solid pace and be one of the strongest late. Again, definitely one you do not want to leave out of your exotics. You'd have to think a $2.80, great place play.
For sure.
Great place play. As we move to number 11, Magic Time. Mickey D rides, Beg trains out of barrier 12. $71 to win, $11 to place if you want to get the graphic up there, Nick.
Sorry, mate.
I mean, pretender for me, you'd really only be able to have her off the fact that she relices 13 to 1400, which I said the winners of this race of the last few years really have. But other than that, she's going to have to be super to win from that barrier off her style.
Yeah, two-time Group 1 winner, Sir Rupert Clarke in 2023 and all-age stakes in 2024. Don't think it's suited to this race. Obviously, won at the distance 2 starts ago in a Group 3 against a way weaker field, but place against Barracuda is definitely a plus, but out of her depth. Magic time, out of her depth.
Fair enough. And then number 12, Tempted, Craig Williams. He's rode a few Everest winners now, so he knows what it takes to win one. Kieran Maher trains out of the very first barrier, $17 to win, $3.50 to place. Tempted, pretender or contender, mate?
Pretender, three-year-old looks to be one of the next big things, to be honest. Eight starts, 4 wins, won nicely at the 1,200 metres. Couple starts ago, can't deliver in the Golden Rose. She's just too young, going to have a great career, but just don't see her getting it done this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same attitude of you here. She's small, she's speedy, and that's just it. She's really small. And 3-year-olds often run really well in this race, but those are boys. Those are colts, geldings that just have big, strong muscles, big, strong strides. She is just not as strong. She is not as mature as this group. I think, yeah, she could potentially be a great runner for this race in maybe a year's time, maybe even 2 years' time. But she showed she doesn't really run a super strong 1,400 in the Golden Rose, so the 1,200 metres is the ideal step back here. But just I don't think she has the strength to stick with them with the amount of pressure in this race will have. I'm happy to eat my words if she gets up here, and it would be great if she gets up here. It'd be really nice to see her stamp herself as the next big thing of Australian sprinting. But I just think that she's one of these horses that needs to wait a year or two before she really comes of age.
For sure, mate.
All right. So we've said who can win and why, who can't win and why. Now tell me, who is winning?
Ka Ying Rising wins. From a betting perspective, a lot of bookies, as we've said, will come out and give you the second place. For that reason, I'm going to be on Lady Shenandoah. Good price where I want to have it. Joliestar's close second in that look as well. So, yeah, do what you have to. But, yeah, for me, Joliestar, Lady Shenandoah, but Lady Shenandoah will be on top for me.
If you had to do a top 4?
Yep, so Ka Ying, Briasa, Lady Shen, and Joliestar. It's pretty boring. It's probably the top 4 in the market, but they're definitely the best.
Fair enough. On top, again, call me boring, Ka Ying Rising wins. But like I said, is he vulnerable? Yeah. Am I going to try and bet around him to potentially get him beat? Yeah. Also, I have him at $13. So, I mean, I win either way if I can hedge my bets on the day. I'm going to go with War Machine because I really am confident on his place prospects here. So I will definitely be going very heavy on him to place on the day, as I will be going with most of the horses heavier. Like I'll be making each way bets all day. Maybe, if you're breaking down $10, maybe a $2.50 to win, $7.50 to place. Always heavier on the place because I do think Ka Ying Rising is winning here. But yeah, War Machine I think is the best chance potentially to knock him off. I just think he is the complete forgotten horse. Top 4 for me would have to be Ka Ying Rising, War Machine, Joliestar, and then Lady Shenandoah. Jimmysstar very, very, very stiff not to get a first 4 run there. Just like I said, I don't think he wins, but he will be coming home very late and potentially fall into the placings. They're great place play, just don't think he wins. So yeah, there is the Everest runner by runner.